Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Really.
Pardon the Politics Podcast.
The week. So, Manny, my brother, what do you have as a spotlight for this week?
Yeah, so something's been lingering around for like the last 2 weeks, but we finally have a resolution. On on June 23rd, Congress passed the 21st Century Road to Housing Act. It passed the Senate 89 to 10 and the House 358 to 32. And with this current setup of Congress, that is as close to unanimous as you're going to get. Why this was interesting is because this didn't have a like straight through shot. This actually passed without Trump's signature. So Trump announced on Truth Social that he was refusing to sign this without the SAVE Act getting passed, with the SAVE Act being the higher priority. His statement on it was like, I will not sign the housing bill, which has been fully approved by Congress and sent to the White House in protest over the fact the United States Senate is not capable of passing the Save America Act. And Trump is going to live and die on this Save America Act bill. But that's neither here nor there. So what does this bill actually do? So it's been a long time since we got some type of bipartisan housing bill to help. But there are a couple big provisions. First is on institutional investors. Basically, large entities that already own 350 plus single family homes are not allowed to buy any. They've created some carve outs for rent, build to rent situations and renovate to rent situations as well. They've updated federal definitions to allow more efficient factory built manufactured housing. The average new manufactured home is 124,000 versus like an on-site built house is averages about 424. Rental assistance using the RAD program, or the rental assistance demonstration program. They've raised that cap by 100,000 units, really focusing on disaster recovery funding, and has created a new cohort called Moving to Work, really helping people get into new housing. Um, and then one of the last big ones is it raises the cap on bank public welfare investments, including affordable housing and community developments. They've raised that cap from about 15 to 20%. So this is the first time about for 20 years. So it'll be interesting. One of the biggest provisions in here was again that 350 institutional buyer limit. Well, I think it's well and great for us to now say, hey, if you own more than 350, you can't buy anymore. This does not force any of those entities to sell any of the housing stocks that they currently have. And lo and behold, I don't believe there's anything blocking these corporations for starting smaller entities to continue to
Yes.
do this. So, like, up at 350, let's go ahead and run this back with
A shell company.
final
Yeah.
version underscore two, and
Yep.
that. So I think ultimately this will be good-ish. I don't see any place where it's going to be worse. Um, we all know housing is a problem. The supply of housing, and to do something. Like, I think this is just an area, I think a lot of people are just glad to finally see the federal government attempt to do something on this. But we'll see what it actually happens. What I don't see in any of this is any focus on green energy use. I don't see anything that's going to make additional funding available for that missing middle, as people call it. The people who aren't looking for giant, single family homes, but also the people who aren't looking for condos. So like that townhouse starter home areas. Um, and then where this money will eventually be invested. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But again, this is passed. So everyone in Congress has something to go back to their districts and said, we did something on housing. Um, and to see how it passed so bipartisanly, this is the play here. So this is what we'll be hearing more and more about, especially when people start talking about home affordability in this election cycle. So that is, man, before I go, like we said before, Trump, did you really think that you not signing it was going to stop it from becoming law? Like
Yes. Yes, he
that's
did.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yes, he did.
So yes, but that is my spotlight of the week, geez.
All right, brother Chuck. What do you have for this week?
Man, I was in between two different spotlights, and one was going to talk about the disruptive bowels and explosive bowels caused by a parasite in the country. Now we're up to 31 states with cases, um, and I think it was exacerbated by the Trump administration cutting a certain department who kept track of this and kept eyes on this. But I'm going in another direction. On this past week, Donald Trump removed the remaining three members or commissioners of the Election Assistance Commission. Now, you want to know who or what is this group? The EAC. It was created under the Help America Vote Act in 2002, 2002. Jesus, that was terrible. It sets voting
I was going to
guidelines.
say, I was like 2002. What?
2002. Yeah. It sets voting guidelines, certifies voting systems, maintains the national voter registry form, distributes federal election grants, and shares best practices with state and local officials. It needs at least three commissioner votes to approve any official action. And so there was already one commissioner who had resigned in April. That was Republican Christy McCormick, and Trump got rid of the remaining three, two Democrats, Thomas Hicks and Benjamin Hovland, and the other Republican. Excuse me, I said that wrong. Christy McCormick was allowed to resign and she wasn't fired. The one in April was Don Palmer. He had already resigned. So what makes this very interesting is this group, this commission, as I said, was created under the Help America Save Act. For those who don't know, Congress are the ones who create these acts. The president signs them into law. So this says that Congress created a bipartisan group. Hear me out. Bipartisan, meaning there must be two Dems, two Republicans. Yes. And it was intentionally set up this way to be bipartisan. So the White House is trying to use the very recent ruling from the Supreme Court in the Trump versus Slaughter ruling, where they said that he had the power to remove independent agency heads. But then there's groups that are fighting back against this because this is not an independent agency. Congress structured this commission and established this commission. So, of course, the Dems, the ACLU, and many other legal scholars are questioning the validity of him being able to remove these individuals on this commission. But what's very disturbing about this is the impact that it can have. Now, many people don't think because with the midterms so close, there are already things in place that it should not impact the midterms. But
Give
the
him an
bigger
inch.
concern is long term. Yeah, there's no formal agency action possible until new commissioners are confirmed. Well, we know how the confirmation process can go, but this is a continuous attack on the voting process, on the ability to vote, on the system of voting by this administration. We saw what he did with mail-in ballots. We saw the attack in the raid here in Atlanta to get voting information and voting data. We see continuously the rhetoric about 2020 in the election dispute, although there is numerous instances of not articles, recordings, and where Trump has even admitted that he doesn't think it was fraudulent.
Right.
His own words. Nobody making it up. This is audio of him. And then, of course, many individuals in his cabinet, in his administration, who didn't believe it was a fraudulent election. So as they continue to attack the ability to vote, I say to you, wake up. This is I didn't even touch on the Supreme Court ruling of the Voting Rights Act because guess what? That's another attack. And as you sit here and you continue to twiddle your thumbs, I'm not even going to address the cowards of Congress because it shouldn't even, as soon as this happened, there should have been pushback and some kind of something in the works immediately because this was a congressional act. But we'll see how things move forward. We'll see the legal challenges that will come from this and how it plays out. But we're moving in a dangerous time. I've echoed before how I felt about the potential interference of the 2024 election. Donald Trump has told y'all before he's gonna fix it to where you never have to vote again. And y'all keep playing with him. Keep
Just
playing with
might
him.
happen.
That's
All
my
right.
spotlight.
All right, brother. Well, I will give my spotlight to round things up, and my spotlight takes us down to Houston, Texas. We have a situation where I believe this may be the first, at least publicly wide known, death by ICE since Mark Wayne Mullen has taken over. Lorenzo Salgado Rojo, a 52-year-old construction worker and father of three, was shot and killed by ICE agents during an immigration operation this past week. ICE says that he used a van as a weapon and an agent fired in self defense, which we heard this before. But his family and witnesses inside the van are telling a very different story. Now, what makes this very significant is that Lorenzo was not even a part of the operation to begin with. He was not the person that ICE agents were looking for. But according to members of Congress who were briefed by ICE, agents believed someone else they had been searching for had gotten into the van. So Lorenzo wasn't the target, but he is the one who lost his life. Now, the thing about this that has really been sparking a lot of outrage is that, of course, there are no body cameras of the encounter. There is no clear dash cam footage of the shooting.
Of
Um,
course not.
exactly, but
Of course not.
once again, we're left with compelling stories, a grieving family, and missing evidence that could have helped at least establish the truth. And from what has been stated, there is investigation by the DOJ. I believe the FBI and ICE is doing theirs as well. But federal local officials in Houston are completely left in the dark as far as evidence and what is happening right now. What we have seen has just been footage that has been obtained from security cameras by nearby buildings, which definitely disputes the claims that ICE is establishing. So this will be very interesting to see how this is handled. Um, with it being, if I'm not mistaken, Mark Wayne Mullen's first incident or public wide incident of a killing happening by his ICE agents. And where this leads to, because certainly we've seen this happen time and time and time again under Christy Nome. And from our understanding, or at least what was told, is that there was going to be some more accountability and a better approach by ICE agents under Mark Wayne. Um, so I'm interested to see how they handle this. Certainly, the even the ones that were inside the van said this isn't happen. This did not happen the way that it's been accounted. Um, and even in the whole process of it, I think the way that the operation is handled by ICE, if I'm just, and I'm just speaking as just a straight up civilian, if I'm in my vehicle and vehicles approach me unmarked, I have no identification of who or what is going on, my first thing I'm going to do is try to get out of Dodge, because I don't know
Right.
what who.
I don't know what's happening.
So even in the
Facts.
operation perspective, how ICE carries out these operations seem to set a deadly foundation to begin with, because how do I even know who you are? How do I, these people, at least if the police come up on me, okay, I see their police cars, I see the sirens, you come in unmarked
It's a fact.
SUVs and then you run up on me. I don't know what's going on there. I don't understand the operation of ICE, and how do you identify when you carry out these things that, hey, I am a federal agent, so that these people can comply? Because if you look at the video footage of the little bit we have, there wasn't necessarily a major chase, but by the time he was shot, you see the vehicle slowly creep and come to a stop in front of a barber shop, and he was shot at that point.
Right.
But they said they shot in self defense because he tried to use the van as a weapon, but there were no gunshots in the windshield. All the gunshots came from the side of the vehicle. So if you were shooting in self defense, I mean, I could see if you said that if the shots came from the windshield and you said he was trying to ram agents, but y'all
Yeah.
were running beside him
Right.
shooting inside the van. So it's a lot of compelling stories, a lot of things they adding up. But one thing is true at this moment: there's a man who has lost his life, that unfortunately there are children who do not have their father, three children who do not have their father, a spouse, partner, whomever who does not have that loved one, and certainly a mother, brother, cousin, someone has lost a loved one behind this senselessness. And I hope that is not the same lack of accountability that we've seen from this from ICE previously. I'm very interested to see how Mark Wayne handles this. And I gotta say this: I'm not very confident that it will be any different than what we have seen before, but we shall see. So that's my
I
spotlight
I
of the week.
am. I am confident it'll be different. There will not be some $200 million commercial behind it. That's the
I
extent of my
hope, I
confidence
hope,
of how it's
I hope,
different.
I hope you wouldn't. I hope this isn't what you would put a commercial behind. But I can agree with
I
that,
about to
brother.
say you can't. Yeah, I wouldn't give him. I wouldn't give him. They doing making it a commercial out of anything. Well,
But yeah, that is my spotlight of the week, and yeah. So we've reached the conclusion of this episode. To our listeners, if you've stayed with us through the duration of this episode, we thank you for tuning in and lending us your ear. As always, like, share, subscribe, follow, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. If you enjoy what we do here at Partner Politics, please share. Follow our socials. If there's any questions you have, comments, concerns, anything you want to share with the pod, to our fans, or to our listeners, to our haters, we love you all. So whatever you have, because we know that in the space that we operate in, you're gonna get just as much hate as you do love, and we're fine with that. Just let us know your thoughts, and if you got any questions and comments or anything, or any topics that you wanted to hear us cover or give our thoughts on here on the podcast, brothers, all hearts and minds clear. Anything else?
man, we're down
Yeah.
to the final four of the World Cup.
I was going to say like the US
Man,
found a way.
as
Yeah, I don't want to talk
always,
about that. I don't even want to
I've
talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it.
and man, and some epic failure that happened. Was it by Egypt against
Yeah,
was it
yeah,
Argentina?
yep.
Bruh.
I ain't gonna say yes, epic failure, but there
It's
Manny, where's
still
the hat?
Argentina.
Oh, he's
Here we
Manny
go.
said he
Here we
need to
go.
have.
Here we go. We go. Mm,
Oh, you caught
here
me
we
off
go.
guard. You caught me off guard. Hold on, because it's only right.
Listen, there is some foolishness afoot.
Oh, some
There's
trickery.
people. There was a report I want to say that said that there's a article they want to drop about FIFA and the Argentina connection and some corruption. But if you look at some of them plays, even before the Egypt match, the Cape Verde match, it's quite a few things
There's some
that were not
questions.
called,
Oh,
that could have been called, should have been called.
well, isn't
Like,
Argentina getting invested in anyway on some fraud?
with, but that's what I'm saying. The
Oh,
reporter
okay.
saying that they're gonna drop that story, but the goal that I want to say that tied it or gave them the lead. No, I think one of them. Oh no, the third goal. It would have been the third goal for Egypt that they disallowed, but for a foul that happened like 100 yards away. But this is the end of the pod. I ain't gonna get into all that. Let's just say
The trickery is
something
afoot.
stinks.
Things that make you go,
It stinks.
Well,
So, yeah.
certainly we will see what the remaining teams will do. We are in the final stretch of the World Cup. So yeah, we will see what happens. Got some pretty decent matchups coming up, and especially with, I believe, what is France and Spain. Definitely looking forward to seeing what takes place there. And yeah, we'll enjoy the conclusion. And I'm looking forward. Shout out to the U.S. team. The only thing that they did do is they did secure a little bit of funds for the girls, and I do like that. I believe it was each player got 264,000, which was a total of 6.4, I believe, between the two teams. So girls got a
Yeah.
little bag. So I ain't gonna never hate on the women's team getting a little money, because rightfully so, and they haven't disappointed us nearly as much as the men has in the past.
not at
So
all. Not at all.
shout out to Trinity Rodman too, because homegirl,
Oh yeah.
that's my she a baller, bro. So I'm really excited to see what the team will do. The Women's World Cup will be in Brazil.
Brazil
in
next year.
2
Yes, sir.
years.
Okay, so
No, next year.
not next year. It's next
Okay.
year. So yeah,
It's next
I'm
year.
looking forward. So hopefully, we'll have a much better time with the Brazil World Cup for the ladies. So yeah,
Lord willing, we might have to report live from
hey,
Brazil.
From Rio.
and I don't mind. I don't mind. So to our listeners, we thank you. We thank you as always. If don't nobody love you, just know the boys here at the pod. We love you. We love you. We love you. Again, remember to like, share, subscribe, and follow. And we will see you at the next episode. Take care, world.
Peace.
Peace.
Hello, world. Welcome to Part in the Politics podcast. We back. I'm back. Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.